for this week is number 127, which is A major scale. You have 3 sharps in this scale, F, C, and G. This is born off pattern number 3, which is high 3s for violin and viola, and extended hand pattern for cellos. On cello, this goes quite high. In the second measure, you'll see that you shift to 3rd position for D. E is with the 3rd finger, and then you need to shift to 5th position and put your 1 where an F sharp would be. So far it should sound like this. The note after that F sharp is going to be a G, played with a 2nd finger. And you can kind of make sure, a G sharp. So never mind, you can't use your open G to double check it. This is G sharp. And then lastly is A with your 3rd finger. You could play a harmonic even, or you can play it actually with your finger all the way down. But that harmonic can be a nice way to kind of double check it. So when you put it together, it sounds like this. How about let's do for the scale this week, 4 bows, 3 bows, 2 bow, 1. Cellos, when you are up this high, you should make sure that your finger is at kind of an angle that is leaning almost back towards my scroll rather than a super square hand, because that's a really awkward hand position. So you need to make sure that your fingers are angled, I guess, down towards your bridge, and your knuckles are kind of leaning back towards your pegs. For viola, A major 2 octaves involves shifting to 4th position for you. So the first thing that I would do is practice going from the G sharp that you have at the end of the first measure and shifting and putting your 1 on your 4th finger tape. Just like we call it 3rd position when you put your 1 finger on your 3rd finger tape, it's called 4th position when you put your 1st finger where your 4th finger tape is. So same thing for you. I would do 4 bows, 3 bows, 2 bow, 1 bow with just the shift. So here's G sharp. And then my 1st finger kind of pushes that out of the way so that it can get to the 4 tape. 3 bows. 2 bows. And then 1 bow. As I've watched some of your videos, make sure that when you are shifting, your finger is still maintaining contact with the string. Sometimes, some of you, it looks like you do more of a hopping motion. Think of it more like ice skating, where you're gliding along the string instead of like you're playing hopscotch and you're jumping from one place to the other. When you are in 4th position violas, your 3rd finger and your 4th finger should touch. So it's 1, 2, high 3, 4. And it's the same pattern when you go over here on the A string. 1, 2, high 3, 4. When you put it all together, it sounds like this. C sharp, high 3. double check and make sure you end it up in the right spot is the last note of that scale should also be a harmonic. That's where you don't press the string all the way down, you just barely touch it, and it makes that harmonic. For violin, you don't have to do any shifting for A major scale. Just make sure you have nice high threes for C sharp and G sharp. After that, you're going to Bornoff pattern number 2. That's where you have regular threes. 1, high 2, 3, 4. And then to the E string, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So your scale ends up sounding like this. Regular 3. For A major scale on bass, start on open A and work your way up the A and the D string, but then instead of playing first finger E on the D string, flip down to open D and open E and continue up the E, A, and D string a second time. On the G string, you'll need to play low 1, G sharp, and then play A with your second finger on your first finger tape. For your tech check this week, I would like you to practice number 35. For violin, this is all in third position. There is no shifting. And you need the same finger pattern that you used for the G and the D string. For A major scale, you're going to have stretchy threes in third position. 1 should go on your third finger tape. 2 goes on your fourth finger tape. 3 is a little bit stretchy, and then 4 touches. And on the E string, that is also the same finger pattern. You need 1, 2, high 3, and 4. Write in some finger numbers in your book, I am totally okay with that. Just make sure you do it in pencil, that way we can erase it later if we want to. It's helpful to me if there's a note on the A string in third position, I would put that finger number underneath the note in your book. And then if there's a finger in third position that you're not sure of that you want to write in that's on the E string, I would write that one above the note. That way you can easily tell if you're having trouble figuring out which note goes on which string. Then you move to the E string, back to the A string, E string, back to the E string, A string, E string, A string, Viola's your tech check for this week is also number 35. You should note that your clef is treble clef for this exercise, so no alto clef. It starts on open D, and then anywhere you see that note on the second space, make sure you're changing to the A string. Viola's your tech check for this week is also 35. Note that this whole exercise is in treble clef. Remember that your spaces, use my hand to teach my fourth graders, your spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, and the lines are every good boy deserves French fries, if you're not really sure of what the letter names are. So the whole thing starts on the D string. You have high twos for this song, in case I forgot to say. Then moves to the A string. Back to D string. A string. Second line, A string, cellos for tech check number 35, you need an extended hand pattern, which means you are going to have F sharps and C sharps in this exercise. Make sure you keep that 2-finger extended. Always use your 2-finger. Don't use the 3-finger like I did one time ridiculously. Keep that hand frame open so that you're always ready for that extension when it comes up. That's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. You're awesome.